everybody, and welcome to I Like It Raw. I am your host, Jimmy T, but I'm not alone. Obviously, Big Ray Hernandez is not here for the time being. He's on assignment somewhere in NYC, I guess, but he should be back next week. But in saying that, I've got two good, cool co-hosts right now in the building. I've got the OGC himself in the house, Colin Wysong. What the hell is happening, man? And why have you disappeared?
This appearance last week was brought to you by Bojangles. This week, it's brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Lord's Chicken, Chick-fil-A.
Damn. Did you bring Chick-fil-A last week as well?
No, it was Bojangles. There's a huge difference.
Bojangles.
Huge difference. Don't ever get that mixed up.
It's also brought to you by Razzmatazz Vapes. Razzmatazz. If there's no Raz, there's no Taz.
In Razzmatazz.
So wait, if there's no Taz, is there no hook as well?
Exactly.
Well, that's a good question. There probably wouldn't be a hook if there's no Taz.
That's true.
Holy shit.
Razzmatazz.
But anyway, guys, am I choppy, by the way?
Your camera seems a little grainy, but you're not choppy.
Okay, because you guys are coming out choppy for me for some fucking reason. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, also in the house, we got MS to the G. Welcome back to I Like It Raw. Matt, what is crack-a-lacking, man? Like I said, I should have the 12 gauge going pop, pop, boom.
Fresh out the shower. Fresh out the shower. I'm feeling the power in my pants as I like it raw.
Oh, yeah, pal.
I did watch Monday Night Raw this morning. I did watch Monday Night Raw this morning, so I was like, you know what? Let me grace this Jimmy T with my presence. Big Ray, I really came for Big Ray, but you're here, so I guess I'll deal with it.
Oh, really? It's like that?
Yeah, just like that.
It's like that.
Colin's
so
like a fucking bonus. I'm like, hell yeah,
Colin's
here. Colin's here. Pretty sweet.
Did you even know Colin was going to be on?
No, but it was just serendipitous. You know, great minds think alike. we knew we needed to come help you, Jimmy. So.
Oh, well, I needed the help, man. It just feels weird when I host this show because I'm not used to hosting this particular show. But I just want to acknowledge the chat also in the house. I'll just say hello to Frank's Pickle Barrel's ass. Also, Michael Vasquez is in the house. Cold-blooded. He's also in the house. And the master and ruler of the world, I guess, Insane Vicious. He's also joining us. So, boys, I'm not going to lie, man. This was pretty much an uneventful Raw. Colin, I don't know, man. I felt a little bored watching this. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, it was a little tough to get through. I really enjoyed the Roman Reigns segments. The LA Knight segment was great. And surprisingly, as much as we gave it crap last week, I enjoyed the Asuka segments. I felt like their physical acting is so much better than them trying to have vocal acting. So we'll get to that later on. But I did feel like this was kind of a slog, especially for like a Dallas, Texas show. You know, I feel like they kind of brought out more of the stops for Raleigh. They had Roman come back last week. They had a lot of other things that went on that we didn't see, which Dallas got CM Punk. We didn't get CM Punk in North Carolina. And I don't know if that was everything everyone wanted.
That's true. It's a good point. Matt, how did you feel watching Raw this morning since you just watched it pretty much? I mean, did it feel like a typical Raw, or just did it seem a little off?
Man, like it wasn't that bad. I don't know. Like it was an okay episode of Raw. Like as Colin kind of pointed out, there were moments and things that kept my attention. So like I didn't do a lot of fast forwarding in regards to the matches. I fast forwarded through the entrances because some of these people would be taking forever just to get to the damn ring. But for the most part, I thought the matches were decent. I agree. I liked the backstage segments and stuff like that. And I also liked the Io Sky vignette. At least they gave her some subtitles. So we'll get more into it and when we get to each one. I mean, so it wasn't bad. I don't know.
We will.
It was that bad.
I don't know. I think MSG, I have to agree with you there. I think the backstage stuff was probably my favorite part of the show, more so than some of the in-ring stuff.
It was.
You know what? For some damn reason, everything seems delayed with me.
You're in
But
Australia.
before I do anything about it, I don't know why, man. You guys seem delayed, but apparently I'm not to you guys, so that's kind of weird. But
your video's grainy. I will say your video quality is a little grainy, so I don't know if it would take you popping out and popping back in, but
Yeah, I was going to say that. If you don't mind, let me just pop in and pop out. But
I don't know what kind of
before we
kangaroo
do that-
internet y'all got down there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. But just chat amongst yourselves for just 2 seconds while I do that, man. 'Cause it's annoying the hell out of me.
This is the 3 Count with the latest breaking news in pro wrestling, sports, pop culture, and more. Now,
That's the wrong one. Sorry.
No, it's okay because I mean, it's technically we can vamp a little bit before he gets back. So MSG, 3 count topics. South Park has been in the news a lot lately with the new season and everything. And as you are the resident South Park guy, what has the most recent episodes been like? What has this season been like, especially with the a lot of the hot button politics and things that have been going on? That
Well,
we see?
on the last episode, they reviewed what was it about? What is it? Whatever the type of betting that it is, it's the poly market and Kalashi, like speculative betting, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called now.
Yeah. Poly markets, yeah.
Yeah, poly market betting and stuff like that. So they made fun of that. And on the side, what's going on is they're still continuing the storyline here with Donald Trump and Satan, where they're having a baby. So in this episode, Trump was trying to get he was trying to come up with different ways on trying to have Satan lose the baby. From Chris going some stairs to try and get Satan to walk down it, trying to get Satan to like hang out in the hot tub with some alcohol and crack and cigarettes and stuff like that. And what else? He also tries to create him a Plan B soup, which all of this ends up being eaten or taken by Brendan Carr, head of the FCC. So he ends up being the butt of all the jokes that everything Trump does. It happens to Brendan Carr. And finally, it concludes with, JD Vance telling Donald Trump about toxoplasmosis. So he gets a bunch of shit and cat litter and sets up a trap to try and get Satan to walk under it. But Brendan Carr once again does too, and he contracts toxoplasmosis. So,
Oh man, they say Brazilian fighters fight the way they fight because they all have toxoplasmosis.
oh really?
Yeah, there's a huge study out that's like the Brazilian men are so aggressive and the Brazilian women are so submissive because of the toxoplasmosis.
Oh wow. Well, I guess they have a lot of cats, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, they do. It's the favelas. It's not the cleanest place in the world.
Not the cleanest place in the world.
Not
All
the
right.
cleanest place in the world.
Well, what's going on here in the world of professional wrestling? Let's take a look here. We got a number of different topics that we could get into here. There's a report coming out here calling about who John Cena's final partner will be. And according to Cheese Sandwich from the Wrestling Observer, he notes that World Heavyweight Champion Gunther is slated to challenge Cena on December the 13th. As it stands, Cena's final match is the only match scheduled for the show. Paul Levesque is set to announce a tournament to name Cena's final opponent in the coming weeks, which sources indicate is set to be won by the former WWE NXT UK champion and former World Heavyweight champion. So, what do you think? Do you think would you be happy to see Gunther beat down John Cena in his final match?
I mean, I wanted to kind of see the All-American versus the Russian or the German a long time ago. I felt like that probably should have been like Cody's, especially he's doing the Homelander gimmick, have him go up against the big German, big German tank guy. But I don't know. I feel like, again, if it's coming from Wrestling Observer, should we really believe that? Yeah, like Zane said, it's probably going to be Carmelo Hayes. Like, it's not going to be who these dirt sheet writers are saying. I'm like, first off, like, why would it be Gunther in his last match? Like, why are we doing a tournament? Unless they put someone in this tournament that is like someone that we want to see John Cena fight, like for the end of his career. But I mean, Gunther, I feel like they should have already done Gunther and saved his bigger matches for the end. Like, why would we be going to Gunther for his last match? Let me get my fingers in the screen so you can see it.
I don't know. That's a great question, Colin. I would have to think the same thing. Sorry, I'm knocking over stuff here. Yeah, I personally agree with you. I think that this should have happened a long time ago already between John Cena and Gunther, or as you point out, they should be doing Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. But instead, sounds to me what they want to do, if this is a report is true, they want to have John Cena put somebody over on the way out. I guess they feel like Gunther is that guy that needs to be the one that needs the elevation.
Well, I mean, I guess you have him beat John Cena. You have that lasting image that you can show forever of Gunther beating up John Cena and pinning John Cena. However, they finish the match and all that stuff. So I guess for legacy wise and for further promotional packages that feature Gunther and his legacy, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you would do. But I don't know. I don't see Gunther as like the guy. Like bring back Edge. Bring back somebody, like go find somebody to bring back, right? Like, if Tony is such a fan of professional wrestling, let Edge come back and do the job to John Cena one last time.
Yeah, all that speculation about Edge, I think he's just off to do a TV show.
Yeah.
I believe so. He's just scheduled to be a part of a TV show right now, so he's taking a break from professional wrestling. I think his contract still lasts all the way till the end of next year. So would it be a cool thing to see? Yeah, we can dream book all we want, but I mean, contractually speaking, if you're AEW, why would you want to help out WWE at this point when they have been so anti-AEW in regards to their scheduling by booking their shows head to head the same day, forcing AEW to change time slots?
I mean, that's a common WWE tactic, though. They've done that ever since WCW and all the other territories and things they've done. It's not anything AEW related. This is nothing new with WWE doing this stuff.
No, I agree. Well, apparently some backstage update on. Do you watch Impact still?
Not really, no. But I kind of know what's going on, and the audience might watch Impact. So don't hold back, Schaffer. Don't hold back. Let it out.
Apparently, TNA star announces departure from promotion, hopes to return in the future. TNA Wrestling is gearing up for Showdown with WWE on October the 7th, but the TNA roster will be short one luchador as Laredo Kid took to X to announce that his time with TNA Wrestling has come to an end. Thank you for everything for this great company and family. I appreciate your tremendous support, and I hope to work in the future. We're on a new path. According to a report from Fightful Select with Sean Sapp, it's not clear if Laredo Kid ever had a TNA contract or if he'd simply been on loan from AAA through the TNA AAA partnership that has existed long before WWE working with either company. And sources said the door was open for Kid to return in the future. So what do you think? Do you think it's more as one side that it's just, TNA didn't have anything else left for Laredo Kid at this time, so they got to let him go? Or is this some sort of fallout because of that WWE ownership now of AAA?
No, I don't think it could be work stuff, like work related, like they're working us. Everybody keeps crapping on this AEW, the AAA WWE thing, like, oh, they're gonna change the way they're doing things and all this stuff. But WWE and TNA are working together, so I don't think WWE would undercut TNA for those reasons when they also have a professional working partnership that they're currently like working on NXT and doing the invasion and all that type of stuff. So I don't see WWE cutting TNA's throat like that. But I'm wondering if like a lot of this stuff is the WWE trying to get these people to go back to AAA, because think about like Santos Escobar, like bringing Laredo Kid back to AAA, going ahead and start padding that roster so that you can have guys like Penta come down, you can have Dom come down, you can have other like WWE superstars come down, and they've already worked with people who are somewhat like peripheral the WWE way of working and things like that. So, he can get people up to speed. He's not as behind as some of the AAA superstars that are down there that have never worked a WWE style or anything like that. And how high, does anyone know, maybe someone in the chat, is Conan close to Laredo Kid? Is that something that could have also swayed that too? Is it, because Conan's pretty much cool with almost all of the Hispanic wrestlers. So,
Jimmy, you there?
I'm here, but I've got a bad internet, man. Like
we might not get to see.
Bad. That's why I'm not on camera.
We gotta see Jimmy's AI face.
Bad.
Your camera.
I have no idea why it's so bad, but as far as Laredo Kid goes, and I was hearing you guys just talking about that, wasn't he already part of AAA already?
That's what we were saying. He was either on loan or there was something kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I heard he was on loan to TNA, basically, but from the old regime in AAA just before the WWE takeover. So that's where it's kind of up in the air with what's going on with Laredo Kid. But I think WWE should actually probably keep him around. I don't see why not.
What do you guys think about, I mean, the rumor out there that Chris Jericho is, his contract's coming to an end. Maybe he's the guy that fights John Cena.
I mean, I can see it.
I think it'll be Edge.
Yeah, I think
No,
it'd
it's
be
not
Edge.
It's not
Well, look,
Edge.
me and Zane Vicious, we don't agree on a lot, but he literally says in the chat that the John Cena retirement is bigger than Mark promotional wars, and he is 100% correct.
I don't agree.
John Cena's legacy. You got to think about the time when John Cena came up. John Cena came up through a dead time for the WWE and was still that company's biggest star. There were so many people who were probably very, very pro AEW that love some John Cena, that are, feel burned by the WWE, but John Cena was kind of that person that still kept them tied into wrestling at the time when the WWE product was shit. Like, during that whole John Cena run after the Triple H Ruthless Aggression era, like, it was terrible. And so I think a lot of those people that carried on are AEW fans, and they probably would love to see Edge and John Cena go at it again one last time, and kind of like, because it's like John Cena is bigger than wrestling now. Like, again, yeah, he was in the WWE his whole career, but wrestling probably wouldn't be where it is today if John Cena didn't get to the heights that he did. Wrestling probably wouldn't be around if it wasn't for John Cena.
Yeah, I don't know.
You really
I don't
think
know.
that?
I don't know. I agree with the artists. AEW needs to be petty. I would. TKO deserves the hate about now. Why help out this company? It's not going to benefit you. There's no benefit of AEW letting John Cena fight Edge or Adam Copeland or whoever, whatever he wants to call himself every week. There's no upside for AEW. Like, I from a business standpoint, it doesn't make really any sense to me. Jimmy T, do you have another topic, or I got another topic for you if you want?
Yeah, look, dude, you might have to take control for now, man, because like I said, for me, it's really, really bad right now, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So if I dip in and out, don't mind me. I'm sorry already in advance, peeps. It's not usually this bad. It's never this bad.
Well, all right. The last news I got here, since we're doing the 3 count.
It wasn't a 3 count, by the way, Matt.
I know. Well, I know. Here.
He played.
Better? Is that better? Is that better,
That's
Jimmy?
That's more better.
Does that make you happy? All right.
I'll say, when you played the 3 count before, I'm like, what is he doing?
I hit the wrong button, but I was already into it, so it was like, all right, well, keep going with the gimmick. All right, new AEW ratings apparently do not include HBO Max simulcast. Warner Brothers Discovery has confirmed that live AEW broadcasts streamed on HBO Max are not included in the Nielsen's television ratings for AEW Dynamite or Collision. The clarification came after a question arose about Nielsen's new Big Data Plus panel system, which combines information from traditional households with data from set-top boxes and smart TVs. Some wondered if that meant streaming viewers were now included in TV ratings, but WDBD says it's not the case, at least for AEW. In a recent email received by WrestleNomics, an unnamed WBD spokesperson explained the situation. Nothing has changed in terms of what is baked in their numbers from the WBD side of things. Dynamite and Collision linear viewership information reported by Nielsen still does not include HBO Max streaming viewership. And apparently when asked for more, or if they're at the time, they are still not going to release that information. I mean, let me ask you this, Jimmy T. Last week, Dynamite drew an estimated 465,000 viewers. Okay. So if they were doing another 400 to 500,000 on the app, wouldn't you want to tout that?
You would, and they have before, but I don't buy it anyway. Speaking of touting, have you ever heard HBO Max tout AEW at all?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't tout them at all, dude, because I don't think they even do like decent numbers for Max, to be honest, man. Even when they had their, I don't want to say their sort of network presser, it was something along those lines where they're promoting all their shows, right? They did not mention AEW not once during that time. To me, that says a lot, man. So if the fact that they can't even mention AEW, I mean, they can't be that happy about it.
Just saying Texas is right. WBD released Superman streaming numbers and celebrate 13 million. AEW capping. Like, that's exactly what I'm
Big
saying.
time. 100% they cap it.
If the numbers were solid enough and there was an extra 500 to 600,000 viewers, so where you could tell combined we've got over 1 million viewers watching the content, they would be doing that, but they're not. Colin?
Nah, they're full of shit, man.
Sorry, I don't even look at the metrics for that. Let's just look at the WBD stock price. Let's see.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
If this was a profitable company, it wouldn't be a $20 stock. And also there wouldn't be rumors that they would be getting bought out by a company that runs WWE stuff already. So I don't believe anything that comes out of AEW's mouth about any of their numbers or anything like that, just because, again, you're on a failing platform. If your numbers were that good and that big, you would be promoted all over this platform. They would be pushing you to get everyone to come in and watch because you're the biggest thing or one of the top viewership items on this platform. I don't believe it. I think this is another thing where they're grasping straws to try to do what they can to make themselves just look as good for whatever TV rights deal or whatever money he's trying to get, so he don't have to spend daddy's money.
Ooh. Daddy.
Yeah.
You know, AEW is just straight capping, man. You know what sucks too? Now, I want to ask you guys a question, actually, and I'll ask you first, Colin. Do you think the AEW sickos are an issue to AEW? Do you think they're doing more damage to the company than even the company even realizes?
Yes, because those same people claim inclusivity, and they'll be the first ones to kick you out the minute that you say anything negative about their precious. So again, their audience turned a lot of normal wrestling fans off, but also Tony Khan has done enough to kill the booking for his company, to hurt his company, to bring in constant WWE guys and not get anyone over, to bring in Punk. Like, you brought in Punk, who was gonna bring you numbers, and you decided to side with people who don't bring you viewership, who don't bring you numbers. And like, again, your cash cow, sometimes you got to make amends for your cash cow, especially if he's the guy that can possibly save your company. And now look what he's doing in the WWE, and look what AEW is doing. And there's nothing, like, they had to go back to Jungle Boy in the most unbelievable stuff ever. They had to go back to Jungle Boy with Luchasaurus. And then they even messed that up because they already had him out in the ring with Jungle Boy. And then they cut to the package of him in the lab working on Luchasaurus. It's like, no, you should show that first. You should show him in the lab making his monster and bringing Luchasaurus back to life. And then you get the big reveal in ring that he's brought Luchasaurus back. Not like, oh, I'm going to come out, cut a promo, then you're going to see my package, and then Luchasaurus is here. Like, someone needs to help Tony. Really, someone.
He does need help.
You know what? I'm hoping that maybe, some EVPs might be showing up to a show here coming up here in November, and maybe some individuals can get into somebody's ears and say, "Hey, do you need some help writing this product?" Because they definitely do. Which, by the way, 2CW, older, badder, fatter, Balderer is coming to Watertown, New York. Tickets go on sale this Friday, October the 10th, at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Wow. Wait, 2CW is a thing again?
Yeah, after look, they can do one show like every 10 years, and it's still better than all the crap that you've seen on AEW for however long AEW's been around. And that's just, it's pathetic.
You're 100% correct, Colin. I totally agree. But I will say this. When AEW first started back in 2019, it was good between 2019 and 2020. Once COVID started happening, I felt like it dipped, but it wasn't just AEW that dipped. Obviously, it was all of pro wrestling, including WWE. And to be fair, maybe AEW had the better show during the Koof days. But I don't know what it is about TK and his weird fucking thinking and way of booking. Like, how does the guy not understand the fundamentals of professional wrestling? That's what blows my mind.
Because he's a mark. He's not a professional wrestler. He hasn't gone through the training. He hasn't been in the ring. He doesn't know the psychology. He hasn't put together a match and had to go through it. He's not Steve King. He's not Ben Hamin. He's not Jason Jordan. He's not any of these people that can set up matches and know how to do psychology enough to get you to watch the match and want to like keep watching the match and have you like by the balls watching this whole show. It's Tony lost that somewhere in the first 2 or 3 years of AEW being around.
AEW, I can pinpoint it back in my mind to where Cody Rhodes left the company, and as soon as he left, that's when this company started to go downhill. And then you had the CM Punk fiasco as well, and all that stuff. That's, you kind of can pinpoint where things started to really take a turn for the worse.
Well, Matt, I remember I went to the Charlotte show, one of the early shows that they had, and I was on, you and Vickery did a post show, and I called in, and it's like their fourth show, like their fourth live show of AEW, and they're already pumping in crowd noise. Like,
really?
You don't even, like, what is this? Yeah, I've been in enough arenas. You know what the ambient sound is of like a couple thousand people, right? And you can tell, like, this audience is like the ambient noise level is louder in this arena than what it should be for people like, and you can just kind of hear that fake sound coming through. And I was just surprised by that because they had to move people down. They had to move us down from the top part of the bowl to the middle part of the bowl on their fourth show. And then they were pumping in crowd noise. So like, even in the beginning, yes, it was popular, but they were still struggling. They were still doing things that people hated on the WWE for. People hate on the WWE. They're like, oh, they pump in crowd noise. AEW is doing the same thing. And as much as I've said that, I've never had anyone come back at me like, no, they're not. They don't do that. They've never done that. No one denies it.
That, were they doing it in the arena, literally, like while you're actually there? No shit. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's
bad.
how they do it. They pump it in over the audio speakers and everything.
That's sad, dude. If that's what they were doing, then that's pretty bad, actually. I mean, I would hate to hear that. Sorry, what'd you say?
It's probably what they're still doing.
I mean, it doesn't really sound like they're getting pops when you think about it, except for on their pay-per-views. But on their Dynamites and Collisions, I mean, are they really getting anything?
Last week they got 450,000 viewers on the cable side. On the cable side, I don't know what they got on the digital side, but
no, look, don't even listen to those numbers. See, the thing is, I don't even believe TK when he talks about his pay-per-view numbers. You know what I mean? Every pay-per-view apparently does 100,000 plus, pretty much. You know what I mean? Do you guys even buy that? Because I don't.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say there could be a lot of international fans who watch it that order the pay-per-views.
Yes, there's. I mean, even like UFC pay-per-views kind of average over 100K. So I mean, I could see it. And even like the lower end pay-per-views that don't have a good main event still tend to do over 100K in buys, but they're not doing like over 1 million in buys. No, the UFC's never doing 1 million in buys ever again.
Well, UFC is kind of taking a dip too, even though apparently they're making more money than even WWE is right now. So, which is interesting in itself. But as far as AEW goes, look, make no mistake about it. I know, look, I tend to bash AEW a lot. And of course, me and Vet always do that wreckage every Sunday mornings, by the way, right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel, 11 a.m. Eastern. But I do want AEW to succeed. That's the thing, guys. I don't want them to be like crap. Even though I can't stand their fan base, I really can't. I just can't. They drive me nuts. They have no idea about pro wrestling, and they get defensive every second. You cannot go against them. If you go against their narrative for just one thing, oh, you're a fucking WWE bot. That's it. You're like, you know what I mean? They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to know you. You know what I mean? And I'm sick of that kind of way of thinking. It's like, man, you can criticize the product. It's fine. You can. You know, and right now, let's be real. I mean, WWE's not doing that much better, but it's still an easier watch.
Yeah. AEW. All right. Well, that's all the news I got. Jimmy, what news do you got?
Honestly, man, it's pretty quiet, to be honest with you, dude. And there's not really much. I mean, you've pretty much touched on the main stories, man. And I just wanted to point out to you, artists, by the way, when you were saying we're overvaluing Edge. No. It has nothing to do with overvaluing him. I'm not even the biggest Edge fan. I just want to point out that he's one of Cena's biggest rivals throughout his career. That's why I'm saying Edge. It would be fitting if it was Edge as his final opponent, because he was a huge part of Cena's career. I mean, remember the TLC matches, the countless, those cage matches, no disqualify, I quit matches. They had quite a few brawls, man, and so their rivalry goes way back. That's the only reason why we're mentioning Edge. So I just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah, before we move into the Monday Night Raw review, also I want to point out I don't know what happened in the Monday locker room yesterday. So if you have any questions or concerns, reach out to Rick Vickery and bother him.
What happened to the Monday locker room? What was up with that?
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you have any questions, I saw some people talking earlier, so I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I noticed. And why? There's no point in me bringing it up. Actually, I'll say it after yeah, because it's irrelevant. But anyway,
with that being said, let's get into the Raw review.
We're getting into the Raw review. Let's do it.
Unless you got nothing else.
No, I mean, anything else? Colin?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Monday Night Raw, coming to us from wherever it was coming to us from.
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Well, apparently to Zane Vicious, Dallas is not Texas. Dallas is its own state, apparently. Yeah, we have 51 states.
Oh, all right. Well, so instead of
doing instead
of doing the traditional, let's go through the show segment by segment. Let's just talk about some of the highlights and what we liked and what we didn't like. You know, we'll touch on like everything, but let's just not. I don't really want to go in order. Let's just talk, except for the beginning. I did like, Roman Reigns. He comes out, he's about to cut a promo. Bronson Reed comes out. Paul Heyman cuts a promo about how, Roman fears the tribal thief, that he's the only one that's ever carried him out on a stretcher, et cetera, et cetera. Bronson Reed then talks. He cuts a promo, and then Roman Reigns and him go back and forth until eventually Roman Reigns accepts a challenge from Paul Heyman on behalf of Bronson Reed that this Saturday night an Australian street fight is going to happen. Roman Reigns accepts the fight, and that's how the segment ends when it comes to talking. Then Roman Reigns calls him a bitch, I guess, something like that, and then Bronson Reed runs back out after him, and then they brawl, and so it's all broken up until we go to commercial break.
So my first thought when I heard about this Australian street fight was, Jimmy, what items do you bring to an Australian street fight? Because like you can't have a trash can, you can't have a kendo stick, like we can't have normal American street fight items. Like I need someone to get hit with a kangaroo, someone to get hit with a bottle of Vegemite. Like, what things are we gonna see get pulled out in an Australian street fight by Bronson Reed here?
What's the bat thing called from cricket? That needs to
the
be
cricket
used.
bat. Yeah,
the cricket bat. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay, there you go. The cricket bat. Use that. That needs to be involved.
You're a character, man.
I don't fucking know.
Well, in Australian street fight, that's a good question, guys, because even I scoffed when I heard that, right? So let's be real, all right? An Australian street fight is no different to a friggin' Italy street fight, a Greece street fight, an American street fight, or a friggin' Arabian jail
a Greek
cell
street fight. A Greek street fight is completely gay. We know that is look. That is we don't talk about that.
He can get a bit carried away. Let's put it that way. I mean, he can't get carried away. Look, even though I'm Greek,
call
right?
Alexander the Great for nothing.
Hey, first of all,
don't talk about Greek God
Greeks bearing
like that.
gifts.
Sorry.
Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, in saying that though, look, if they don't bring out a cricket bat, like you said, Colin, or you, Matt, sorry, 100% there'll be a cricket bat involved. There's no doubt about it. There have to be. For comedic relief, the Vegemite would be a funny thing, but it's too dangerous to use, man. I mean, that shit will knock you out, literally. like 100%. Zane, don't make me do this to you because I am about to do it to you right about now.
You fucking mark!
There you go. Anyway, what else can we get? A boomerang has to be involved, 100%.
Yeah, you gotta have the boom.
Need a boomerang, except it's gotten pretty woke down here, boys. I don't know if the indigenous peeps might get a little upset if a boomerang gets involved. A didgeridoo would be great too, though.
Now look,
Yeah.
The artist return says a knife. I don't know if they could want to pull out a knife, but they could pull out some sort of special fork. Do you have special utensils down there or anything like that we don't know about? Australian style forks, Australian style. Do you have sporks? Is that a big thing out there?
A spork.
Yeah, a spork.
Well,
You don't
they
know-
love
you don't-
spam down here. Just saying. So
You don't know what a spork is?
what's a spork, bro?
It's a spoon and a fork
It's a
together.
spoon and a fork
Ah.
together.
I've heard that before, but I've seen them before. It's literally a spoon and a fork. They're just
Used to get 'em all the
stupid,
time
but we
in
don't really
cafes.
use them. We don't really use them, so no, that won't be. Maybe a stuffed koala, like Zane said. Who knows? We'll see. If they don't have friggin', like I said, they need an Australian bin, actually, not a trash can. Maybe you guys use the same bins though, like in front of your houses when you put your rubbish out, whatever. Do you guys have the big plastic ones? If you know what I'm talking about, with wheels?
Yeah.
With the wheels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got the same ones, and you just wheel it in and wheel it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, they
So
could.
there's
I
no
mean,
point-
that works.
Yeah, there's no point there because if you guys do it, and then I mean, who uses trash cans anymore? Let's be honest.
People in the Northeast. If you go to New York,
Really?
people still use trash cans. Yeah,
They just leave it outside on the street.
that's true as
Wow,
well.
I haven't seen trash cans since the '80s, man. Down here,
Oh, okay. Well, they sell 'em.
Literally.
They still sell
That's-
them. People buy them. You know what I mean? How do you think all these wrestlers get them for hardcore matches? These indie wrestlers got to go to the Home Depot.
well, yeah, of course. I mean, come on. Where do you buy trash cans from? I've never seen them to buy.
Home Depot, Lowe's.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ace is the place for the
They're
the
expensive.
hardcore folk.
Those
Nah,
Rubbermaid,
How much are they?
like a Rubbermaid trash can could go for over $100 for like a good industrial, like big gallon, like trash
Oh,
can.
like a
Yeah, they're-
compost one sort of thing?
No, just a normal like industrial one that you would use like I forgot, maybe like a 10-gallon trash can, 20-gallon trash. I'm not sure the size,
Damn.
but the normal ones that you would see at like restaurants and things like that, yeah, they're over $100 usually.
That's nuts, man. That is actually nuts. Well,
What
anyway, they better have the boomerang, the didgeridoo, and what was the
about
other one I said?
Didgeridoo, that was good.
No, there was
what
one
about-
more I said, but I forgot now.
What about like a puppet,
The cricket bat.
cricket bat?
Oh, the cricket bag, and that will be there 100%. A puppet, like
Yeah,
guys, you want to talk about puppets? Oh man, I'd love to show you guys. Have you guys heard
Australia
of Aggro?
is known for puppets.
Dude, we got some good puppets. I'm telling you now. When I was growing up as a kid, right?
I
This is a
know.
bit of growing up Jimmy T right now. But before going to school and shit, and I'm talking about elementary days, I would watch a show like in the mornings, right, which showed all cartoons and shit. But the show was called Aggro's Cartoon Connection, and it was a puppet that would host it was like a host of the show that would, bring in the cartoons, like whether it was Scooby Doo or whatever, right? This puppet though was pretty explicit, man. Like there was a chick hosting and the puppet would literally go
Humper.
like he'll go down there, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
And
so
I'm
he
thinking
was-
to
he was
myself,
fishing.
what the fuck were they showing us back then, man? You know what I mean? If I showed you
And
guys
then
something
the
now,
big
you guys
water.
would laugh. Absolutely laugh.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
And
I'll
I
show
also
you
had
guys later on.
another question for you too, because I was excited when I heard him drop the prolific Aussie street fight. Like, how prolific is Bronson Reed as an Australian street fighter?
Good question, actually. I've seen Bronson Reed long before he was in WWE. I used to actually see him in the indie scene quite a bit, like in person as Jonah Rock. And he was impressive during that time as well, but I'm not his biggest fan. I hate the way he talks, to be honest. Even though he's a big Samoan Aussie, he's a Samoan guy as well, funny enough. But ever since Suzuki actually done a pole driver on him, I could never look at him the same way, I'm not going to lie. And I saw that in person because, Suzuki pole driving him was something else. But he's a big deal in Australia for sure, man. I'm sure you'll probably get booed actually out of Perth, 100%.
So after we saw that in-ring promo segment, backstage throughout the night, and we'll see later in the ring, Roman Reigns makes it clear to Jay that he doesn't want Jay by his side because Jay has bigger fish to fry. Reminds him about owning the rooms he walks into and the doors and the people that are in front of him, taking what he wants. And then Jay tosses his shade in his brother's direction, says, "When I got your back, we got your back." And he did it in a dismissive way that essentially said Jimmy doesn't exist. What does any of this have to do with CM Punk? Well, Roman reminds Jay that the territory booked Raw's opening act for the top hour and not the main event Jay. So basically, he reminds them who's talking at the top of the hour. And he's like, CM Punk. So basically telling Jay, looks like your main event status, your spot is starting to slip away. What did you think of this interaction backstage throughout the evening between Roman and the Usos, Colin?
Oh, I like this part. I like the interactions between Roman and Jay. I like that Roman was kind of coercing him, kind of like he did with Bronson Reed. Kind of like, hey man, like who's at the top of the hour? Because it sure sounds like you. Like and then when he walked out, he's looking at Jimmy. He's like, yo, why isn't he trying to why don't he want to hear my advice? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, what's the deal? Like, I like they're kind of, we've gone away from this bloodline stuff.
Right.
And they're coming back, and it's starting to be refreshing because we've let these guys go do their own thing. We're starting to see Jimmy and Jay be conflicted with each other. Like, again, the emotion and all that stuff is coming back in with these guys, and it's going to be great cinematic television once again when these guys start seeing the pain and the anguish as they turn. And is it still going to be Yeet? I mean, when he's back to being bad guy Jey Uso, are we still going to be hitting the Yeet out in the crowd? How's that going to work?
Jimmy, what did you think of this backstage segment between Roman, Jay, and Jimmy?
Well, to answer Colin's question, they'll definitely still be yeeting, I think. He'll still yeet, whether everyone yeets, but it'll probably be no yeet when everybody else yeets, if you get my drift. Yeah. But anyway, as far as the segment goes, like Colin said, man, it was a throwback. It did remind me of the bloodline stuff, like especially with Roman being the heel per se and sort of manipulating the brothers, because I feel like that's exactly what he's doing. We're back at manipulating the brothers for whatever reason. Do you know what I mean? Does that mean because clearly the Usos are giving me heel vibes right now, but so is Roman sort of though. Like, what's going on here? Are we going to get are we continuing the bloodline story like Colin said, exactly where we left off about 3 years ago, where he was getting to Jay's head, like Jay was weak-minded, you know what I mean, and Jimmy trying to stick up for his brother. I feel like we're going back there again, except this time Jay's like a wild dog off the leash, if that makes sense. He's not going to be he's not going to bow down to Roman like he used to.
He's been more defiant.
He looked way more defiant. Like, remember where he would sort of look down and he used to act like a dog that was abused, if that makes any sense. He looked down. He would never look at Roman in the eyes. He had too much respect and love for him to the point where he'd allow to be sort of abused. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, and whatnot. Except this time, he's like a pit bull that's just going to attack. It doesn't matter if it's Roman, if it's his brother, or Punk, or LA Knight, for example. But I also think Jimmy is kind of a bit of a wild dog too right now. I think these two right now, if they get defiant with Roman even, it'll be pretty interesting. You know what I mean? To see where they go with that. And you know what? They needed to refresh this whole thing anyway, man, because a lot of it was getting pretty stale at this point. So I'm actually looking forward to what they're going to do moving forward.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do as well. You also got a backstage segment. The first one was with Asuka. She's back with Raw GM Adam Pearce, telling him to make the match tonight. She yells it over and over, if you will. And then after yelling at him multiple times, Kairi Sane walks in afterwards to find out that she's actually been put into a match against Io Sky, thanks to due in part to Asuka saying, make the match. Because Rhea Ripley is in Australia doing media already. So
That's
Asuka
right,
tells
she is,
Sane,
man.
Asuka tells Sane that she better win after slapping her in the face. What did you think of
And
this?
she's like,
What did you
they're
think?
whack. I liked it, man. I like how Asuka's just being a total bully, man. You know what I mean? As she should. She's she's the veteran of the group per se. You know what I mean? Also the leader and kind of mother figure of the group. So absolutely, she should be acting the way she is. Except, are we going to get Io and Kairi sort of defying Asuka in the end? Like, I was thinking it was going to be Kairi and Asuka just abusing Sky, but maybe not.
Maybe not, Colin.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like this backstage segment. I do still don't like. I have issues with them speaking English the way they do. Like when Kyrie says the whole family thing, I just see Vince McMahon just in the back, like, you gotta say family. You have to say it like this. And then she's like, my family. Did you watch last week, MSG?
No.
So go back and watch last week when they were doing the whole acting thing at the beginning of the show, and tell me if Io doesn't sound like G Fresh.
Okay.
You have to go back because it is like a sad Asian man crying in the corner when she's like, "Oh, I have the Smurf mist all over my face." Like, it was just so so terrible. But this was better. Even their in-ring stuff was better. I mean, we're looking at probably I probably will get flack for this because it's probably a hot take, but I mean, these three women are probably the best wrestlers on the roster, talent-wise. If you just go everything across the board for these women, they're probably the top three. They can't cut English promos, but if you took them to Japan, they could cut one hell of a Japanese promo and cut a better Japanese promo than most of the women on the American roster. So I'm going to enjoy what these three women do together.
Well said. So
actually, I love the way what Cold Blooded said. Asuka's new character is she's the new fabulous Moolah. I can see that in some ways.
So I guess we should start talking about some of these matches before we get. Otherwise, we can just talk about the backstage stuff and how it leads to.
It was the best part of the show.
I know, but we had Maxxine Dupri taking on Becky Lynch. There was a lot of women's matches to start the show tonight, 3 to be exact. They were the first 3 matches on the card. So the first one was Becky Lynch versus Maxxine Dupri, and Maxxine Dupri wins by a count out, even though there was a fast count at the end by the ref. She just went 7, 8, 9, 10, and then she.
That's why you don't fuck with the ref.
That's true. You don't fuck with the ref because Becky Lynch was fucking with the ref too much. So I don't want to sit here and be like, this match was horrible. But to me, Maxxine Dupri still looks awkward in the ring when she's moving. Like, she looks like she's trying to play a pro wrestler than actually be like herself in the ring who knows how to wrestle. If that makes any sense?
You're talking about Maxxine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that same thing watching them. It's like they're doing with her. Like, I wanted to ask Striz or Ben or somebody, do they have cookie cutter wrestling? Do they have planned choreographed wrestling matches? And it seems like when she's in there, she's going through her planned choreographed match.
Yeah, it does. I would
Very
agree.
choreographed, man.
Colin versus Buck Angel on a dildo on a pole match. That's Big Ray Hernandez. So there you go.
Colin over strong. But yeah, I feel like I don't see Maxxine Dupri a lot, but from where she's gone to where she is now, I feel like every time I do see her, she shows me something new. And she looks 1,000 times better than she did last time. I mean, she hit her with a power bomb. She did the weird, she caught the leg kick, and then she did some weird spin out of it, chain wrestling thing to get on top of Becky. There's some things that are really nice coming out of here from Maxxine Dupri that you can tell she's getting better. But we are watching a developmental product on the main roster. Literally, we're watching someone who probably shouldn't be in NXT get a shot on the old main roster here, and but it's fun. It's good. I
mean, that's a good point. There was some good chain wrestling action happening in there. I will admit that. Jimmy, what did you think?
Well, honestly, it was actually frustrating me. why is Maxxine getting so much in against Becky Lynch? Why is she suddenly, even though she sucks in the ring still, like you said, she's still pretty green, but let's give Becky all the credit here. She did make her look like $1 million compared to any other match she's ever had. Let's be real, right? At least that's a positive. But come on, man. You don't just use pretty much a glorified jobber in the female division, right? To now suddenly she can hang with Becky Lynch. You shouldn't be booking. That's not book. You don't. That's not right, man. You don't book.
That's also why she got the DQ finish here. I mean, how
Right,
when was the
of
last time
course.
we saw a straight up DQ finish where someone got counted out in the WWE?
Not very often.
Not very often.
Yeah, I
So
don't even
again, they're
remember.
using a finish that we haven't really seen in wrestling because it's always constantly like a pin or a run in or something like that. Like for her to actually get this win, a fluke win over Becky with the count out and everything, that does add a little more to the match than what we would have gotten if she just went over on her, right? Like it's not like she pinned Becky clean in the middle of the ring.
No, absolutely not. But the thing is, we all know it's all a facade, man. It's gonna do nothing for Maxxine Dupri, like they call her. It's gonna do nothing for her, man. Like she's got her little comeuppance for what though? What's the end game? Absolutely nothing. She's gonna get an IC title shot now for sure. Just to answer your question, Josh, in the chat. But then she's gonna lose, and then that's it. But the thing that's frustrating, don't go 50-50 against Becky, especially someone that just was never booked strong ever. You know what I mean? So why do it now? It doesn't make sense to me.
And maybe if they had played it like psychology wise, that Becky was like taking her lightly and she was getting caught by things
Right.
that you normally wouldn't
didn't
get
even
caught on,
tell
but
that
that
story,
wasn't
though.
what was going on in that
No.
match. No.
Which is ridiculous. But you're right. They should have done that. Then it would have made sense.
Yeah. It was like I mentioned at the top with my thoughts. I thought this, and Colin, I think you're on to something, that this felt very choreographed as far as like what the moves were going to be. So that kind of took me out of the match a little bit, but it was definitely refreshing to see something different. At least, Becky giving a hard time to the referee throughout the match. So in the end, the ref kind of screws over Becky and does a fast count to disqualify her. So wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. There was another match that came up after this. It was Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria. Prior to the match in Gorilla, Bayley comes up and asks her if she can go out to the ring with her to support her. Lyra eventually says yes, so she goes out there. They have their match. Roxanne Perez comes up with the big victory here. I don't know if it's big victory, but she comes up with the victory after Perez dives onto Lyra on the floor and hits a DDT on the floor. And then we go back into the ring where Perez hits a pop rocks on Lyra for the pinfall. After about a 9-10 minute match. What did you think of this match, Jimmy?
Oh, I think Jimmy's frozen.
I think Jimmy's frozen. Colin?
I mean, I enjoy Roxanne. I am starting to enjoy Lyra Valkyrie. I did notice a sign. Did you notice the Meltzer Fears Facts sign?
I did. I had
in
that.
the back that got raised up there very prominently. I mean, it's a classic Roxanne match, which, they end up taking it and finishing it in the back later on. So clearly the business wasn't finished in the ring.
Yeah, this match was okay. Jimmy, what did you think?
The match was fine, man. I mean, there's not really much to say. It's just they're going with the motions. Am I frozen? What's going on? Am I really bad right now? I know.
You froze up for a little bit, but you're just graining. It's okay.
Yeah, I might go off camera again just to save the internet somehow, like if that makes it better. But anywho, it was fine. I felt like I've seen this already. You know what I mean? It was like it wasn't one of their better matches anyway, put it that way. It was just a normal TV match.
Yeah, it was okay.
The panel is not high on this match.
Panel is not very
No.
high. That is for damn sure. All right, so after that match, we had a AJ Styles, John Cena vignette that happened. Talks about covers their story of the rivalry in the mid 2016s. Talks about the matches for Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble in 2017. So they're basically talking about how social media was used to set up the Crown Jewel match, and then Triple H booked it. So, mean, it wasn't a bad video package, but it was like, all right, cool.
Well, and if you think about it, I think I saw someone on X say that you have to think of John Cena and AJ as like this was John Cena's biggest feud in modern era of John Cena wrestling. I mean,
That's true.
the beat up John Cena was kind of the biggest thing, and the only thing that this feud is missing is the Good Brothers.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll see them make a comeback or not. Probably not. But I do like the addition of Penta and Dragon Lee in this. But it would just be so much better if we had Carl and Doc in the mix with this. It's not the same.
What did you think of the video package, Jimmy, with John Cena and AJ Styles?
Yeah, I mean, like AJ said, on the show, this writes itself apparently, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with it, I guess. You know what I mean? We're just going to get a match and Cena's going to win. You know what I mean? Everyone will go home happy, basically. I'm cool with it, but at this point, I wonder if John Cena is cool with his run in this, last year, because it's been way up and down and starting and changing minds and babyface heel and then babyface. Like, if I was him, I would want to redo this all over again for one more year. But unfortunately, he probably won't, because wouldn't you be bitter? I mean, Matt, would you be kind of bitter if you're John Cena? Not bitter, that's probably the wrong word, but I don't know, sort of upset with the way things have turned out, especially considering this was supposed to be your final year, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yes and no. Like, I'm sure there's probably some anxiety and stress and frustration he's had over the last year with different things that were out of his control. But I would also probably say that he's probably made peace with the fact that anything and everything can happen in professional wrestling, and it's not going to always go the way you want it to go. So he's trying to, I guess, make the best of it, have the best matches that he can, and put on the jorts one as many times as possible until he takes them off forever, I guess.
Never take the jorts off. Even look at our supreme leader. He's not even fully out the game yet.
He's not even out the game.
Never out of the game. Never out of the game.
Never.
So AJ Styles is about to be interviewed after this package, which is why I brought the package up, and then the Judgment Day interrupt him. They taunt him, saying that he couldn't beat him, and neither could Rusev. That being Dominic Mysterio. Finn Balor says that Styles is making a huge mistake by coming after tag team titles with Dragon Lee. Styles says, you know what, let me go find another partner and I'll talk to Adam Pearce and we'll fight you. And it'll be a good match, I guess, whatever. So they announce that they're going to have a match. Him, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and they go find Penta. And Penta's like, yeah, dude, I'll be your fucking partner. And then...
Pendejo. That's what he says. I'll be your partner, pendejo.
Yeah, he'll be
Pendejo.
Pendejo.
Órale, cabrón.
And then this was all after all that. Then they show what you were referring to, Colin. There's chaos down at the hall as Bayley and Lyra Valkyria beat up Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Gets broken up by officials, and Raw GM Adam Pearce was yelling at them as well. So there you go.
Poor bloke. Breakdown because of women.
Why can't we get Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis to get some heat? Like, why can't we see them in a ring? Why? Like, I would love. Like, why can't we get Adam Pearce versus Nick Aldis at Crown Jewel? Why can't we have? Why can't we have Survivor Series Raw versus SmackDown where Pearce puts on his team and Aldis puts on his team, and we see these two guys go at it?
Wait, you mean bragging rights?
Yeah.
Remember bragging rights? That's what that was for.
Let's do it. I enjoyed this segment.
Pal.
We're gonna get a fun trios tag team match, and then the explosive, like the out of nowhere nature of these girls just going at it. And again, the Bayley and Lyra, they're supposed to be the faces, right?
Yeah.
Why are they all of a sudden just jumping the heels in the back for no reason, and then double teaming one person? They were literally they jumped Raquel in the back, and then Roxy had to come in and make the save, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah, she did. And then it gets broken up. It was, it was all right. It's okay. I don't have much to say about it, Colin. What about you, Jimmy? Do you have anything to say about that chaos? No,
I think Jimmy's down.
Jimmy's down. So CM Punk makes his entrance. He comes out. He's wearing a pink and black shirt. I don't know if that's a reference to Susan G. Komen's Breast Cancer Awareness Month because it is October, or if is it Bret Hart. Either way, he's been off the last 2 weeks after the tag team win at WrestlePalooza. Talks about his wife AJ and how everyone welcomed her back. Mentions the fact that he's been chilling out or whatever because he doesn't want to get into Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins' business at Crown Jewel. Says he's been celebrating his win. Says he started the year beating Rollins on Netflix and he's going to end the year doing that as well. Punk says he's going to earn a title shot. He doesn't just deserve one after a guy in the crowd has a sign that says Punk deserves it. Punk says that he's better than Rollins. Everybody knows it. I thought he was going to say, and you know it, like MJF, but he didn't. Punk claimed he would become the world heavyweight champion. LA Knight then comes out. They go back and forth. LA Knight does a weird promo about how CM Punk is a good husband and everybody should find love. And I'm like, that's a great sentiment, but it's just a weird placement for to talk about this right now.
I wish I could find love like he found one day. Maybe when I get that world championship, I'll find love.
Yeah, it was very weird. He calls him a trash champion. Knight says that Punk has had 5 minutes as a champion. Knight mentioned Rollins pinned Punk at SummerSlam and at Clash. Knight mentions never being pinned by Rollins. And then out comes Jey Uso. He gets in the ring. Fans are yeeting. He says he's up next for the championship as he never got his rematch for the title he lost. And then Knight, of course, says this is deja vu. We already did this in Paris. Then Big Jim comes out. And then they're all four in the ring. And then Jey Uso gets fed up with LA Knight. So he super kicks him. Punk then ends up telling him, like, I like Jey Uso. I don't like Little Roman, which pisses off Jay. And he's about to super kick him, but Jimmy blocks it. And then, Punk pushes Jimmy out of the way and decks Jay. So then, of course, Big Jim has to stand up for his brother, and he super kicks CM Punk, and that is how the segment ends. And then eventually it's going to get announced that there's going to be a tag team main event between these 4 competitors, CM Punk and LA Knight versus the Uso brothers. Oh my God, that breaking all that down. Colin, what did you think of the segment?
I like this segment. The talking segments were doing it for me tonight, especially when LA Knight came out, because I could just watch that guy talk for hours, and days upon days, and I like where they're going with this. I would love to see LA Knight be champion. I mean, I think CM Punk threw that in his face too. He's like, yeah, you might not have ever been pinned by Seth Rollins, but you've also never been champion. Yeah. So, and then they kind of throw those jabs out there at him, and you can kind of see their faces. So it's hard to tell if like these are personal jabs, like what they're doing with each other, because you can tell like LA Knight does kind of have like you can see it in his face when they mentioned the not having the title thing. Like he probably should have had the title at one point in time, and maybe business changed, things changed, and he didn't get it. Yeah. But there was some really good chemistry between him and Punk in the ring there.
Except for the lovey-dovey stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, except for the lovey-dovey. But you gotta, I mean, Punk deserves his flowers. He is CM Punk. And yes, they're trying to make everything about AJ Lee as much as they can to cram her down the throats of everyone now that she's back. Yeah, I saw you got to just take your throat back so you can fit AJ in there. It's just I like the segment. And then the Usos came out, and even more acting and motions from Jimmy when he was kind of like, damn, CM, I didn't want to have to super kick you, but you put your hands on my brother. So now I got to fucking super kick you. Like, oh, come on. And got super kicked. So like there's all of that going on there too. I feel like this segment did a good job to push some more of that Uso bloodline narrative that we got going on here, to kind of push that a little more and to kind of see the viciousness that Jay is going to start to kind of build up on and have that chip on his shoulder as he continues. Overall segment was good.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting segment because, like, all the baby faces want the same thing, right? And they get physical by the end of it. But they also kind of all have their own big egos. I thought the promos were well done. Everybody delivered some good lines, like you kind of pointed out. and Punk and Knight are right now two of the best talkers the company has. So I thought that putting them together in the ring was always a bright idea. Jay kept his own here. He didn't have to say too much, but he basically came out and said what he had to say. And overall, I agree with you. I thought this was a good segment, except for my opinion. Like I said, I thought that it was out of place for LA Knight to be like, "You found love. Everybody should aspire to find love." And I'm like, what am I watching here? What show is this? So then we get a video package of Io Sky. She's speaking in Japanese as her English translation's on. She says that Asuka broke her heart. She said that her and Sane were in WWE because of Asuka. Sky said Asuka isn't why Sky became a champion. Sky said Asuka only wants what is best for Asuka. Sky says that they're not family anymore. And she says that she has found out that Rhea Ripley is like family to her. And at Crown Jewel, you'll find out that Asuka isn't ready for Io. What did you think of the vignette package? I liked it. In my opinion, I thought it was a lot better with the subtitles.
This is even more Vince McMahon ribbing, having her say Rhea Ripley and family all in the same business. Like, you can't have that many R's and
We
L's
are not family
in the same sentence. Like, this is, yeah. I mean, this package was better because it was like a lot more edited. They got to speak in Japanese. I enjoyed this package a lot more, and I like what they're doing for EO. I mean, I feel like if she could speak English, and if she was like more American and she wrestled like she did and had the style and everything that she did, she would be so over in the WWE and be very popular amongst American watchers and viewers that don't really tap into that Japanese stuff.
Well, after that, we got a match, which was Io Sky versus Kairi Sane. So Sky attacks Asuka though before the bell, and then they kind of do like the whole like Sky and Sane each go for the same move, the drop kicks, to show that they're like close and think alike. She does a backflip to avoid Sane. She hits Sky hits a drop kick. Sky hits a springboard moonsault into Sane on the floor, and then they go to a commercial break. They come back, continue to have a match. This goes on for about 11 minutes. It ends with Kairi Sane doing a bridging pin and Asuka holding Sane's hands while the referee Jessica Carr is counting the pin. So it was a decent match between the two. I think the two women worked well with each other. This one actually looked like a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And then Asuka getting involved made sense since she was kind of at ringside while Rhea Ripley wasn't there. And then afterwards, they beat down Io Sky some more. What did you think?
I had same feelings as you had. I felt like this was the wrestling match of the night. We actually saw a wrestling match with people who aren't just following a cookie cutter kind of recipe. Like, they were either calling it in the ring or they know their spots, their high spots that they have to hit. However these guys do it, these ladies were doing it. I love Asuka. I was watching Asuka, and with that face paint that she has, like the centipede face paint that she's got, she looks like Two-Face. I don't know if from a distance, the side that has the more of the centipede on it, it looks very Two-Face-ish when she's kind of looking at the camera from the distance, because you have the plain side and then the kind of overly painted side, which is kind of interesting with the group that she's putting together here, as she's starting to show more of her evil side. But overall, like, the match was great. I like how the ref just kind of ignores the fact that she can see Asuka out of the peripherals. I don't know if you saw the placement of where the ref was when she was doing the count.
Yeah.
She was kind of like right there, like you can see Asuka
that
grabbing the hands. But so there might be some things like that they need to work on. And then I was a little worried. Was this the match, or was it the?
We have two.
No, that was the Becky Lynch match with Maxxine, where there was a very close, almost 3 count. And that was during the Maxxine Dupri Becky Lynch match. I thought it was during this one, but it wasn't. But
Gotcha.
Overall, great match. These girls are going to continue business, and they're going to just beat the crap out of Io Sky until she gets her comeuppance.
Well, I guess we'll find out this weekend. But they're definitely making it look like Ripley and Sky are going to be the one beating Asuka and Sane at Crown Jewel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kenny, everyone isn't checked out. I would say, again, the Japanese girls, they aren't just accepting a paycheck. You can tell Asuka and Kairi, and they're still consummate professionals trying to go out there and do what they got to do in the ring. I But I can see where some of these other ones, it's kind of like again, Maxxine Dupri. Like, why is she? I get it, the storyline and everything like that, but you could have someone else from NXT who's ready for that spot be in a different spot, for what you got for it. But I can definitely see the sentiment, Kenny.
After that, we got a long video package, part 2 of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Did you want to talk about that at all, or do you want to just tell people to go watch it?
Just go watch it. Just go watch it.
Yeah, it's a good video, but it's long. So they make logical points about their history together and why they're going to fight each other. After that, we go to backstage with Becky Lynch. She's complaining in the locker room to her husband, Seth, while Paul Heyman is sitting there. She complains about losing to Maxxine Dupri. Then she claims she's not going to Perth. She leaves. Rollins tells Heyman that he has to win this Saturday. Heyman tells Rollins he will. And then he wonders what happens if he doesn't beat Rhodes. He asks him over and over. Heyman says you'll lose the locker room. You'll lose the faith of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, that his vision will lead them into the future. Heyman said that Rollins would be a de facto wannabe secondary champion and tells him, do him a favor, don't lose. But before you can leave, Heyman is asked again what will happen if he loses to Rhodes. And then at some point, Heyman has to ask himself, he says, why he picked Rollins over Reigns. I don't know, a lot more Roman Reigns stuff here that they wanted to dial it back to, but I didn't think that this was a bad backstage segment. Only thing Seth Rollins did on the show for the whole night. But
easy paycheck.
He got his paycheck. I didn't think it was that bad. What did you think?
No, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, we needed this. I mean, of course, we got to see Seth to kind of continue that storyline. The Becky Lynch stuff, she's just being a big old crybaby. And I'm excited to kind of see, again, they've got so many like times that they can pull off of these stories. They've got Seth with the Cody stuff, then you got Seth with the Roman and the Paul Heyman. Like they've got so much is going on that you kind of have to tune in each week to see what's going to happen. And will Brock help Seth beat Cody is what TN Couponer's saying. Will Brock step in? Do we see Brock being a part of the vision or helping, or do we just kind of see Seth Rollins getting it over clean? Do we see Seth Rollins beating Cody clean this weekend?
I don't know about that. I think that the vision, Brock and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, I think the Brawns will probably get involved somehow, or at least Braun Breaker. So I think that.
Or does Brock get involved to help Cody?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Cody did beat him.
Because the artist returns, Rollins versus Brock, and how many times, again, it was Roman versus Brock in those situations, but how many times did Rollins come in and weasel himself in with the briefcase those couple times? And I don't think we've ever really had Rollins versus Lesnar the way that we've needed to have kind of that feud in the WWE.
That's true. It has always just been Roman versus Brock. Then we go backstage again. More Jey Uso, Jimmy, and Roman Reigns. Jey wonders why Jimmy was out there. He wonders if Jimmy is protecting Punk. Jey says Jimmy better remember what side he's on. Jimmy says he's on Jay's side. He leaves, and then Jimmy says that Reigns is messing with Jay's mental state. Says that he's nothing like Reigns, and Jay is nothing like Reigns. And then Reigns says, you should listen to your brother. Reigns said that when Jay won the World Heavyweight Championship, he became more like Roman and less like Jimmy. Says if you want to help your brother, then sometimes you need just to get out of the way. Wasn't bad. More hyping up the main event between the Usos, Punk and LA Knight, and continuing this storyline. That Jay might be more like him now, since Jay is a former World Heavyweight Champion who's craving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Penta makes his entrance. They all make their entrances. Debbie and Dragon Lee, AJ Styles, Judgment Day. AJ Styles tries to cut a promo to start, but the Judgment Day's music plays. These guys have their 6-man tag team match. AJ Styles, Penta, and Dragon Lee pick up the victory after 15 minutes. It was an all right match. It was tough to keep up with everything, though, because of how much was going on at some points, I would say. But Styles getting the win made a lot of sense since he's going against John Cena at Crown Jewel. So it's smart to give Styles some positive momentum going into the match. What did you think of the match, or did you care?
I did care because of the Dirty Dom. It's Dirty Dom. He's on the screen. We got to pay attention to the greatest luchador to ever lace up his boots. That's really the only reason to watch this match. Well, Penta's in there too. I get excited for Penta. This was just a match. Like, I wasn't too hyped up about this either way.
Okay.
I wish
After the
Jimmy
match-
was here
Yeah.
because I don't have much to say about this match.
No, I don't really have much to say about this match either. It was a 6-man tag team match, so that way AJ Styles could get a victory. After the match, he grabs the microphone, and it kind of felt like maybe he was calling out the internet WC, the wrestling community, by saying this doesn't need a story because it writes itself. Says that he promises he will leave it all in the ring, and then he says that it will kick ass. So he was definitely selling the match.
He's gonna hashtag beat up John Cena.
Beat up John Cena. There was a rundown of the card. It's going to be John Cena and AJ Styles, the Women's Crown Jewel Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vacour. An Australian street fight between Roman and Bronson, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. And then the men's AJ Styles, I already said versus John Cena. Men's Crown Jewel Championship, Cody Rhodes versus World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. We get one more backstage segment between CM Punk as he approaches LA Knight in the backstage area. Punk says he didn't want this match, and he knows Knight didn't want the match. Knight said that they had to do it, and Punk says them to not get pinned. Then the Usos make their entrance through the crowd. They advertise what's going to happen next week on Monday Night Raw, as Dominic Mysterio is going to defend the title against Penta, and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are going to take on Rachel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. LA Knight comes out, CM Punk comes out. They have their match against the Usos. Now, this match was only 9 minutes. It kind of came on later in the evening. But this match, I guess, was more or less about the story of LA Knight stealing the pin. Punk was the one who kind of does all the work to Jay. Yet Knight tags in, gets the glory to win the match. And then the Usos had some moments where they worked well together, but then they had some miscommunication issues late in the match as well.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I liked the way that Knight and Punk were playing off of each other. The tags, like Knight wants his shine. He's gonna get his shine however he can get it, at the expense of whoever he can get it off of. And tonight he was getting that off of CM Punk, and that's just gonna further drive a narrative. So maybe Punk gets his heavyweight championship back later on down the road sometime, and we get CM Punk and LA Knight going at it for the world championship, maybe. Or maybe we get LA Knight wins the title and we get some, like, I like that they're laying these seeds down for like future things. Like they're always kind of planting seeds now, and I like that. Again, like I said with the last thing, there's so many different ways that you can go with all the stories, from the bloodline stuff, from AJ with everything that they're doing with the Judgment Day, and even with Seth Rollins, the stuff that he's got going on with Cody and possibly Brock and Roman Reigns and all that craziness. So I like, you don't know where the WWE is going to go.
Yeah, I didn't mind as well LA Knight getting the victory. I think it makes sense from a storyline standpoint too, that he's the one that picked up the victory, so now he can still claim that he deserves a world heavyweight title match before CM Punk does. So I like that. I agree with you. I think I would like to see LA Knight versus Seth Rollins before I see another CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match. Not saying that's not a good feud, but it's nice to put it on the back burner and then come back to it maybe closer to Mania season.
Yeah.
So for now, if you have an LA Knight, maybe he's the one that dethrones Seth Rollins for the title. Maybe it happens at the December pay-per-view or the Royal Rumble, and that sets up, CM Punk versus LA Knight. I think that would be great as well. And then, event, or maybe it turns into a 3-way heading into WrestleMania or something like that.
Or even if we don't get those guys, maybe we get an interaction in the Royal Rumble where LA Knight eliminates CM Punk, or CM Punk eliminates LA Knight. And then that even just drives it even further, that we're going to get some kind of maybe WrestleMania match or something between these two in a big type of way. Because, I mean, these guys, LA Knight didn't do what he did in Impact to come to the WWE and just kind of be this character that he is. Like, this guy came here to be the face of the WWE, and he can easily be the face of the WWE. He's got the charisma. He's got the mic workmanship. So,
Jimmy T, what did you think of Monday Night Raw?
I'm just pissed at my whole thing that's going on with me right now, man. Jesus Christ. But as far as Raw goes, man, I don't know, man. It was all right. It was fine. I'd probably, if I had to give it a score between an A and an F, It'd probably be a
MJF?
C minus.
C minus. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd give it a C. It was a solid C show for me. Colin.
It's a B minus.
B minus. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. You actually enjoyed it, Colin?
Yeah, I like I said, the backstage stuff was really fun. I enjoyed all the backstage segments. I enjoyed the LA Knight stuff in the ring, the in-ring segments of them talking and stuff. I did, as much as we kind of shit on Maxxine, I enjoyed watching the Maxxine match. Like I said, she shows me something new every time I watch her. Of course, the Asuka match was great, and then yeah, just
Are we supposed to forget that Maxxine and LA Knight are brother and sister?
yes.
Yes.
Do I need to neuralize all of us?
No.
I don't know.
Ah, damn it. God damn it, pal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here on I Like It Raw. That's your Raw recap here. Jimmy T, you got something you want to put over?
Well, I'm just pissed that about the whole show, man. Like, this has probably been the worst show that I've done ever. But as far as putting anything over, just tune into the Wreckage Sunday morning, of course, 11 a.m. Eastern. There's supposed to be a smack attack. I don't know what's going on with that. It could have been yesterday,
Monday.
Could have been today.
There was no Monday.
Right. So I have no idea. We got to check in with RBV. Hopefully he's okay. I'm a bit surprised that he didn't do the Monday locker room either. So let's hope he's all good. But just look out for that. Hopefully my internet fixes up, and that's all I care about right now at this point.
Right,
and I just
Colin,
want to apologize to you, Colin, as well, man, about that, and to everybody listening and watching, of course.
Son of a bitch. Colin, what do you got?
So we got you can just find me on the X at Colin Wysong and the A Show. Make sure you check it out Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. with April Hunter. Sometimes Big Ray goes on the show. Sometimes Shelly Martinez comes on the show. Sometimes I'll go on the show. It's been a while since I've been on the show. But I think she's been in the mountains recently doing some stuff. So it'll be kind of exciting to tap in and listen to what's been going on in April's life. Make sure you check out the A Show. The Pro Wrestling Reflection. We give a shout out to Tommy Wonder and the Professor. A great show. You can find that all over the place. I don't know who that third guy is on the end there. I don't know who that guy is. He's not on. There's only two people on this show. I don't know who this third mystery man in the suit is. Maybe he's like some kind of beneficiary, like benefactor. I don't know what he does.
He's the money guy. You know what I mean?
He's the money guy. Yeah. He's the Tony Khan of the group. But make sure you check out the Pro Wrestling Reflection. They actually just did a really fun show. Wrestlers versus reporters, and they kind of go through and talk about all of the different times that we've seen wrestlers get rowdy with reporters, and they even talk about the Grayson Waller one. So they have modern reporters versus wrestlers in this show as well. So go give that a listen. The Professor is a mark, but that's why we love the Professor.
Absolutely.
Because he's a you fucking mark. That's why we love Professor.
This one's for you, Prof.
You fucking mark!
And then anything else that I can...
Sorry.
No, you're good. Then anything else that I can think of to put over, if the Wednesday Locker Room ever comes back, make sure you check out the Wednesday Locker Room on Tuesdays, filmed for Wednesdays. So they go live Tuesday nights, and then they release it on Wednesday. So make sure you check out the Wednesday Locker Room and the Impact Attack with our boy Brandon. Should I play the slow Brandon music while we talk about?
Whoop.
And long story short,
Impact Attack with Brandon and the Vet. When does this show come on?
Monday nights at 9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern PM, that is.
Yeah, 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
But we might as well put it over every other show because we've also got the next level. your NXT wrestling review show with Big Ray Hernandez and, of course, the best in the world, the Vet. So look out for that. Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern, of course. And was it? Are we missing anything else?
Well, I'd like to put over some stuff before we go.
Go for it. Absolutely.
Well, of course, you can check out my movie trailer, Modern Folklore. It's available right now on YouTube, Modern Folklore movie. Type that in and it'll pop right up. Movie comes out in 10 days. You can actually pre-order right now on Apple if you want for $14.99. But it will also be available on Amazon Prime, Google Play, as well as Fandango at home. So check out Modern Folklore movie coming to your home soon. You can also check out SMB at South Park Review. We recorded the 300th episode this last weekend on Sunday night. So that'll be out this upcoming week as well, either Wednesday or Thursday. The 300th podcast will be dropping after close to 6 years. So should be a good time. So come check it out. We had myself, Dane, and Ian on there. We had some people in the chat. Labarat, shout out to him. Our friends Riho, Joe Morin, Adelaide.
You had Riho in the chat?
Riho
was in the chat. That's so
yeah, Riho was in the chat.
We love you a long time.
No, her name, it's actually Rhea, but it's Rio. But yeah, come check it out. Anyway, that's all I've got, Jimmy T, unless you've got anything else.
No, like I said, I already put over what I was doing. Like, there could be a smack attack. There might not be. Who knows? When it comes today or tomorrow, we'll see. But that's about it, man. I've already put over what I've put over. But, yeah, man, there's nothing else. Oh, well, speaking of, on the weekend, there is, of course, the Crown Jewel of Perth. For whatever reason, Crown Jewel. I don't know why. But I'm sure you guys aren't going to watch it at like 5 a.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern
I'll be at work.
time to
I
watch.
might.
Well, you would watch it actually, Colin?
Maybe.
Well,
I'm up
awake.
doing cybersecurity crap late in the morning, like early in the morning. So
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Is that what you're doing these days? Well, that's pretty awesome, man. Well, if you are gonna watch it, as a matter of fact, and I'm gonna be up, of course. Well, let's review it, man, properly. I mean, even if you're around MSG, and let's talk about Crown
No,
Jewel.
I'm gonna be at work.
this is gonna be me reviewing Crown Jewel after I watch it.
Yeah, I know, bad. Hopefully the show's all right, but there's also SmackDown and Raw also in Perth. Ironically, the show's on my birthday, the Crown Jewel show. And what's even sadder, I'll be celebrating it with TK also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
ladies
know.
and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of I Like It Raw. We'll see you next time, next week here. Hopefully Big Ray has a good day at work, and hopefully he can get his ass to the gym.